My brother,
What's good?
I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro. For real.
Absolutely, absolutely. How you feeling?
Feel good, man. One day at a time,
Yeah,
you know. I feel like there's always something,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think my whole practice right now is being present
Mm,
and appreciating what's in front of me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
that's important. How was your
yeah,
week?
we was good. Busy work stuff. You already know,
Yeah,
same old, different day. But
absolutely.
you know, uh, yeah, same old thing, different day.
Yeah. Now, when you say being present, is that in what way? Is that with family? Is that with yourself? Is that more present in your work-life balance? Like, what does that look like for you?
It's funny. I think it's probably a little bit of everything, but how I'm shifting the priorities of what those things are.
Mm,
So self first, work last,
yeah,
friends, family, and everything else in between.
yeah,
The old me, or I wouldn't say the old me, but I think originally I would kind of have that in reverse, being
right.
like work is
Work first.
first,
Yeah,
and then I literally put myself at the bottom.
yeah,
So being present now is more so literally just accepting and being still and being like patient with what's happening right in front of me, like with myself and like
right.
making sure I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Then let that domino effect into like the workflow and other things. Because it's like if you're not good, then the things that you create,
That's a
there's no
fact.
way they can be good. So
Yeah, I think I hit the same thing this year. A little. I mean, it's 2024 now, but when I say this year, I mean 2023. But I think I hit the same kind of milestone because I think that that's an accomplishment for sure. But for me, I think it happened when I came into my family life. When my son was born, I recognized a lot of it is due to Telsha. And her speaking things to me and letting me know how important my presence was. But yeah, being present, man, is like there's nothing else like it, especially when you realize that it's more important. It's most important to be present for yourself first, because if you don't fill your own cup, you give it everything that you're giving out to everybody else is out of depletion.
100%, literally that, bro. And I feel like it took me 5, 6 years of like full time doing bricks and wood and things like that, things of that nature to like recognize like how much I was putting everybody else, their well being and
Yeah,
their satisfaction in front of mine.
yeah,
And I realized how unhealthy that was.
absolutely.
And I feel like even, like you just said, even as a father, you still got to be Justin.
Yeah, I have
You know
to,
what I'm saying?
man.
Like,
Have to.
you live for a different purpose now and more responsibility,
Hmm.
but you can't, like, there's no Justin without, he don't have a good dad, Justin's not right.
Exactly. It's facts.
Or Telsha doesn't have a good husband and Justin's not right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
real.
So, in a somewhat selfish way, you gotta like remember that through any, hurdles and like things that
Facts.
go on. So
Yeah.
I feel that.
How do you what does like being present look like for you? Like, is there anything you do specifically? Is there any things that you practice that helps you to stay in that space and remind yourself of it?
Yeah, lately it's just been really just centering with like my emotions
Mm.
and like my spirit too.
Yeah. Is that
Definitely
like
pray.
writing or
Not yet.
okay.
I've talked about it more than I've actually done it,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I'll get there. And I feel like because it's been on my the top of my mind a lot. I know it's coming sooner than later for me to actually pick the pen up or the pencil up to start jotting down whatever that looks
Absolutely.
like and journaling. But
Yep.
right now it's been definitely more reading
Mm.
and just feeling honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, accepting my emotions no matter what way they steer. It's like being okay with how I feel that day
Yeah.
and actually going through it rather than like trying to bypass it or cope with it by just doing more work or like
Right. Facts.
going to the gym or like hanging out with friends or drinking or like
Yeah.
those type of
Yep.
things like
The things that seem like they're coping and helping you with your spaces, but
nah,
it's like, yeah.
if you sad, just go through it. It's
Yeah.
okay. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Go through it now.
Yep.
So you don't gotta deal with it. That's what's easier later.
Absolutely.
And I feel like naturally, like I said, for the last 5, 6 years, a part of my coping has it's been, more work. And I look back at like my resume, everyone can benefit from the success. I mean, I benefit from it too,
Of
but
course.
I think in regards to like how people appreciate it, I didn't appreciate it the same way.
Right.
Like you can even tell me like, yo, bro, this what you did here was crazy or this is dope and I'll say thank you and I really would mean it. But then like, did I really like feel fulfilled?
Right.
Probably not because I'm
Yeah.
dealing with something else that's
Yeah.
like, I'm using this just to make it look good.
Right. And then you realize that like I'm getting more from it than what Yeah, that's facts.
And it's just like holding me back from like true happiness. And then it's like you have those moments where you feel like you want to crash out.
Yeah,
Just be like, man, forget all this. And it's like, wait, hold on,
feeding your audience before you feeding yourself.
bro. I've been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah,
No, it can't lie to you.
yeah,
So year 6, I'm like, when you center with yourself and when you get to that point, you can say, you just look in the mirror and say,
facts.
I control this. That's the
Yep.
beauty of it too.
Yeah.
The gift and the curse is that it's under my control. So it does go through these different levels of emotions and like challenges. But once you realize something you don't like, you can change it immediately.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it might be weird, or some people might not like it as much, or whatever the case may be. But it goes back to the same point. It's like, take care of yourself first. You know,
Absolutely.
no matter what.
Yeah, that's facts. That's good. I want to encourage you, bro, because I know that, like, you just mentioned that you haven't gotten into a space where you feel like you are able to jot down your feelings and everything on paper. But I've been peeping your Instagram stories, and that's writing, bro. That's writing.
That's
you
true.
Know what I'm saying? It's not pen to paper.
Yeah.
But you are tangibly sharing your thoughts and in the form of words, and it is very encouraging. And every time I see it, I mean, it's a big reason why I even invited you on, because I've been noticing it and wanting to dive deeper into, what it is that you're experiencing and what's been inspiring, the things that you've been writing down and jotting on your stories. And, it's all obviously emotionally driven and spiritually driven. So I just want to, talk about anything that you may be battling with right now that has been heavy on your heart, or
I mean, a lot. And first of all, I appreciate you even like recognizing that and seeing the value, like I said, into bringing me on here to discuss it, because a lot of times I don't like. It's funny because I don't do it for the audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is just me being vulnerable and transparent with my platform, and like just a reflection of who I am. And it's refreshing, and it's definitely like a reminder that God is using me as a messenger. You know what I'm saying? Because what you said, people have been telling me this even way more lately.
Wow.
Like, people have always been telling me, like, yo, you're a good writer, and I've always been very insecure about that. But I'm like, I don't actually like do the writing practice.
Because you don't see yourself in that way.
Yeah, because I understand, because I look at it from a technical side.
Absolutely.
That's like the more logistical side of me looking at life. Like, I look at life very like realistic.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be a writer if I don't sit down and write, and I don't study writing skills.
It's also because you're an artist. So like, as an artist, you know that it's important to pay respect to people that are actually like, that's what they do. So it's like, for someone to just come to you and say like, yo, bro, you're a writer. You just like, wait a second, hold up. Like,
for sure. That's been my thing. I've always been like super like humbled and appreciative, but I always take a step back, like, wait, I don't know, y'all. I know, I'm sure y'all appreciate this, but whatever. But honestly, bro, in regards to what I'm dealing with the battle between me, who I actually am, and then the perception that I've been able to feed into for the last 5 years.
Okay.
And I had to like really like reshift that energy, and like, and there's details that go, in the midst of that, from family, friends, relationships, the whole nine. I'll probably, not get into that, but the overarching issue was, I just wasn't truly myself.
Yeah.
I was just showing up for what it looked like and what people knew me to be, thinking that sweeping things under the rug for so long would just kind of like, time would heal it.
Yeah.
And I've realized I've been saying that to myself a lot. I actually don't like that quote.
I was about to say, it became such a cliche statement, and it's not. It's the farthest thing from the truth.
It's the farthest thing from the truth. It's the farthest thing from like accountability and responsibility.
Yes.
Like,
and even respect for yourself, bro. Like, because as you say that, like the sweeping under the rug thing, like, it's not everything that you just said. It doesn't pay you anything to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the idea behind the time heals all statement, I think, is that, like, you sweep it under the rug enough, and as time goes on, you forget about it. Yeah. That's not ideal.
I don't know. To some people who can deal with it that way, I'm sure they have their own, but I feel like it's like a ticking time bomb for you to like unlock that feeling again. Absolutely. And to like go back to that place that started the first hold up the rug and swept it under there. Yep. You back at the mess that you could have cleaned up a long time ago.
Exactly.
And I think what I'm realizing is like, yo, I don't believe in time heals all. I believe in showing up. I believe in like taking accountability and like making the change for yourself and for whatever situation that you're dealing with, so that you don't, have to deal with this later.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of times, in our generation too, because a lot of it is perception based, it's easy to like hide behind something and like run away from it, like just literally like subconsciously.
Yeah.
Without even thinking. But for me, I grew up in a foundational home. I grew up with resources. I grew up with my mom and my dad, not in the same household, but both of my parents were very present.
Yeah.
And you know, I've had the luxury of traveling the world and doing things like that. So I was like, I see the world in a different perspective in a way, especially coming from South Central.
Yeah.
So when I think about it, I'm like, damn, like I actually don't have to like, I can utilize the things that I'm given, that I was like blessed with. You know what I'm saying? I can utilize these tools, and I haven't done it just because I was just playing keep up to like the motion or scaling of like the business.
Yeah.
And when you're an entrepreneur, when you're front facing with your company, your brand, and those successes, it's easy to, I'm not saying, for anyone out there listening, like it's definitely not like the easiest thing to just come to realization on.
Yeah, not at all.
Because sometimes that could be another drug of its own. That could be another demon of its own, where you're like just riding this wave and you're just scaling to this direction. You're just like, oh, this is who I am, and this is who I am. It's like, is it though? Like when the lights are off, when you by yourself, when you sitting there with God and you getting questioned, is like, is this exactly who you are, or is this who you are projected to be based on accolades and things that you've done, in the real world has results, but who are you for real? And I think
when did you sorry to cut you off.
No,
when did you realize that you were like showing up instead of really being yourself? Because I think the same thing happened to me at a point in time. But I'll let you answer first, and I'll talk about my experience, because that's a very real thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the social media age, especially being front facing with the with the business and a career, and being a creative and all those things. That happens. So definitely interested in like when the shift happened and how that click happened.
It was definitely top of the year.
Okay.
I think I just had a spiritual breakdown. Not even gonna say a lot of you.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me emotional thinking about it, because I'm like, damn, like I never like expressed my emotions like that before. And to be honest, I had to like call my mom, and my bad.
Nah, you good, bro. This is what we're here for. Safe space, bro.
Yeah, I ain't worried about crying, okay.
Safe space, bro.
But yeah, I had to like call my mom and just like get like an emotional reaction out on the phone. And I didn't realize it was like 15 years of just me just holding something in.
Yeah.
Like let's say, for example, you got a homie and he did something that actually internally hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
But how you grow up and like being, the black community and the masculinity that we kind of have to like put on.
Yeah.
You cope with it by just like,
shit don't matter.
Yeah, like trying to like, blow it off.
Yeah.
But in reality, is like, instead of you pulling him, one on one and be like, hey, bro, like, you hurt my feelings because you don't want to feel soft and vulnerable. You blow it off and make another joke, or you know what I'm saying, like whatever the case may be. But back to the sweep under the rug concept. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
years and years of doing that, stacking up on top of each other.
I just let it go.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have no real words. Like,
yeah.
I was just telling her like, I apologize, because to you it's blindsiding. And I didn't want her to worry, but
yeah.
I had nothing else to say.
Yeah.
I'm just going through something. Now I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Nah, that's real. And it's hard to go through that, because it's not, everybody talks about the journey of healing and seeking yourself, and, seeking that moment that you experience, which is so powerful, bro. Like, and I definitely like want to applaud you and commend you, because it's hard to get to that level, especially when you're on your own, because it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you said, it's very vulnerable. It's very it's scary sometimes, because you're in a space and in a season where you're like you get to like almost your wits end and you don't even see it coming. It just kind of hits you and you
I
just
was
like
just, bro, I was just
it's
literally
like, yo, where did
chilling.
this come from?
I was chilling,
Yeah.
and I was at my crib the other day, going through, just general life things, whatever. And then, like, I just started just texting my mom, like, apologizing and just getting on the phone, couldn't really talk, like, kind of choking up, kind of similar to what's happening right now. But, like,
Yeah. And it just all came
it
out.
just came out, bro. But it didn't come out with, like, anything specific because there was so much to talk about.
Exactly.
So I couldn't even take the time, and there's
take
no phone call that could have, like, explained it.
Yeah.
I just need her to feel that, like, your son is having an emotional, spiritual output.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I was, like, crying and going through it, I felt good during the process because it was like,
It's a relief.
bruh, like, I've been holding on to just, like, perception and just, like, things that I genuinely don't even really care about spiritually for so long, just to, like, again, fulfill the optics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
facts. Yeah.
And I think I got to the point where I don't know. I think God just, again, he came in and was just like,
it's time.
Just put his hand on my shoulder. And then when I felt that, that's how it came out.
All came out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a specific way of, like, this thing happened because there was so many things happening.
Yeah.
And then, and I've dealt with these things before in different ways. And I felt like I've gotten through them. But again, I was coping with them. I wasn't getting through. I wasn't like, the only way out is through.
Absolutely.
And I was going around it.
Yeah, every time.
Like, I was just like, I'll get back to it later.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, top of the year, bro, I got back from Paris. And,
that stillness.
Bruh, sat down with myself and just, like, start to think. And it just, like, kind of start questioning, like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and through moments of endearment, through moments of that felt good and, like, fulfilled, successes to a degree, But when I realized I wasn't like able to appreciate them for myself, even though everyone else that looks at it and is a part of it can, I knew something was off.
Yeah.
And I had to, like, stop lacking emotional expressions. Like, if I feel a certain way, being okay with speaking it and expressing that, and saying, like, no to this or yes to that, or you know what I'm saying? Like, again, back to the same theory of, like, if it, with your homies and he say something or do something that actually makes you feel a way, you go to the customization of, like, how you grew up and just reacting, like, trying to be tough or whatever the case may be, instead of being like, yo, bro, that hurt my feelings because what looks off.
Yeah.
And I think that that was my breakthrough. Is like, if I'm feeling this emotion, I'm gonna have a better practice on how I at least express it, to at least start that journey. So then now that I'm able to receive, the right tools and the right words or the right access points, so I can actually, like, cure help get cured through this through that problem. You know what I'm saying? So
that's powerful, bro. I think again, I want to commend you and congratulate you because again, that's something that it takes a lot, and you experiencing that, like you mentioned, it's a heavy weight and a heavy burden that we have, and I hate to make it about race and being a man, but that's what it is. Being a black man, we're not taught anything else. I grew up in a 2-parent household and everything like that, but my dad had a certain upbringing, and he would tell me the same thing, like, yo, you gotta stop all this crying. You know what I'm saying? You got, you can tell me how you feel, you can communicate it, but you gotta hold yourself up a certain way. And I respect him for it and I thank him for it, but at the same time, there's certain tools that we're not given that lets us know that you're actually more of a man when you can articulate how you feel.
Yeah, I think, I feel like the realest person expresses their genuine emotions.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's funny because mine came in reverse. Mine came from my mom's perspective. My mom was more of the, like, protect yourself. And maybe I don't know if maybe I went too hard with it, or, because of however it was taught. But, when I look back at my traumas and triggers, I'm like, these are the things that, like, really, like, shaped and set me up to be how I am today.
Right.
That I didn't find that, there's good things about it. Don't get me wrong. It's a good balance between the two. But I feel like I didn't give the other perspective or the other outlet enough
Right.
practice. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's never gonna be a perfect medium, but I think
Nah.
just the strive for it is what it is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I look back at like certain things where I'm like, I didn't even try this.
Right.
I
Exactly.
didn't say this. I didn't even like think about this.
Yeah.
So I was only catering to like one way of the highway.
Yeah.
Too much of anything is always a bad thing, no matter what it is.
Nah, I mean, it's crazy because I literally went through the same thing, bro. Like earlier in this year as well. And it was with my best friend, and I was just I had been holding on to a lot of things with our relationship for a long time, and exactly what you were saying in the space of like me not feeling comfortable enough to let him know, like, bro, my feelings are hurt, you know, and me trying to just brush it off, sweep it on the rug. Now we cool, bro. I'm good. Like, it's whatever. It's all right. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to thug it out. You know what I mean? And then yeah, it took like a conversation. Like even Tasha was there. You know what I'm saying? And we was all sitting down having lunch, and I was just like, bro, I need you. Like, you know, I need you to show up. I need you to be present. Like, I got a son, and you know, you ain't been around. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know you dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with a lot, but there's certain things that I need from you, and you know, I can no longer hold in that, you know, just that idea of not being able to tell you that. And bro, broke down, bro. And it's just like,
People need people, bro.
that's a
You know
fact.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it takes, and that's the thing too, and that's the other side of it that I want to talk about as well is like I had to like before I point the finger at anything of what wasn't serving me, whether it's people, situations, whatever. I promise you, I looked in the mirror first.
For sure.
I was like, okay, what did I not do, or
Right.
what could I have done better?
Yeah.
And even in moments that weren't in favor for me, you know, I always look at a situation like, what could I have done better?
Yeah.
Where did this go wrong? Because I feel like, you know, I always say this is like, I think the answer to all of our problems is ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that with that being said, that's what I did. I was like, okay, I feel away and I feel hurt and I feel, you know, there's lacks here and there, but let's see what my resume looks like
Bro, I gotta
first.
check on myself.
Let me check myself first, and then once I come to that like clarity and I do do that personal work, I can like approach these situations with grace.
Yeah.
You know, and have a genuine conversation where my hope is that it's not reacted with defense or starts an argument. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure I'm saying the right words. Like, hey, bro, like before we even get started, like I just want to let you know, I need you to be my friend right now.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
like, you know, whatever that looked like.
Yeah.
But I've had those conversations as well. You know, some of my friends and that type of thing, and family members and whatever. So it's real, bro. But you gotta set it up. You gotta be able to set it up a certain way, because when you walk into the room and you just come in with the emotional, when you come in with the emotion that got you there, you might not get met with what you're looking for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like if you'd have came in there upset at your friend,
Oh yeah, okay.
ain't no
Could've been a
telling.
whole different, exactly.
You know, and then you gotta think that mixed with being a husband, being a father, having your own responsibilities now, he got his own thing going on. That's a crash out moment.
100%.
But y'all just literally just ruin the whole X, Y, Z years of friendship based off of one emotion.
Yep.
It can happen that way.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know, so I think I'm assuming you set it up the proper way so that it didn't get to that point, because you were centered with yourself, and I think that's where and been like my new way of thinking. Like, okay, before I just blow it all up, because to me it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me again go back to that point of centering, being present, see how I actually feel.
Yep.
So that when I do talk about it, I'm talking about that particular emotion.
Absolutely.
You know, and not just like in a run around, beat around the bush way.
Yeah. Man, that's maturity, man. Humility, bro. Yeah, it's important, like you said, to be able to not only prepare the conversation, but prepare yourself so that you know that you're coming in there with a proper heart posture, you know. And speaking on that, I want to, you know, ask you how your heart is now that you've kind of experienced that and gotten through it. How has that shift been for you in your heart, and as far as like before and after?
Yeah, I mean, it's open, man.
Yeah.
And it's open in a way that I just wish it was open sooner.
Fact.
You know, like it makes you reflect on things. Like, I don't have regrets. Well, I do, but you live with them. And I think for me, it's just like realizing how to like just be better for the next opportunity. And I'm like, damn, like this is what this person was talking about, or this is why this person sent this to me, or whatever the case may be. and you just get to a point where you just live in that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just, again, that's why I said, I'm like, I don't mind crying on camera because I'm like, this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have never happened a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
You know, and, or not happen without me being like, cut, you know, turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would feel like, no, we got to go back because I'm going back to their perception.
Right.
This is who I really am.
Yeah.
I'm not, this ain't no sugarcoat, you know,
Yeah.
like this is what I go through.
Yeah.
And for you brought up something that sparked that to me, like, let me just say how I really feel. So,
Absolutely.
you know, where I'm at now is more so, you know, it's in a healthy space, man. It's in a space to be whatever gaps are there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're open to be healed, and I'm open to. I mean, meaning me allowing them to be healed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Again, not just being like, all right, well, I'm this way because I went through this when I was 17. Like, no, that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's not progression. That's not like an excuse.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially as a man. Absolutely. And a black man to top, you know, to put the cherry on top of that, bro. Sure. Like, we don't have those type of excuses. And a lot of people in the world make excuses and just be like, oh, because I'm this or because I went through this. It's like, no, you gotta like actually like have the accountability to say, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna change this generational curse or this personal curse that I have for myself, you know, whatever the case may be. So yeah, man, like, you know, it ain't in the most joyous, you know, position, but I know I'm open to receiving whatever it is now, way more, you know what I'm saying, to be able to actually be fulfilled spiritually, emotionally, through whatever comes, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like now it's just like the kind of like that step in, step out, like the little fear of like, okay, well, now my emotions are really open.
Yeah.
And now I gotta just be a little bit more fragile and be more careful about who I allow in and out. Before I had this shield on, which I still do, but it was shielding, it was such a strong shield that it was shielding myself from being myself.
Gotcha.
So now it's like, that's the layer that I had to like, okay, I didn't need this layer of the shield. I got it, but I didn't need this extra iron on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm good with just this, the Zelda, the Link wooden one. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need to get the metal one right now.
Yeah, that's fact.
I wasn't ready for that. But yeah.
I mean, you spoke on it was real quick, but you spoke on having some regrets. Not that I want to talk into those because that's very personal. However, I do want to challenge you, bro. Just in the space of understanding, or from my understanding of knowing that like having regrets is I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Having regrets is, for me in my perception, because I've learned how to let go of those things, is nothing short of holding on to an older version of yourself. Meaning, the only reason why you have this feeling of regret is because you're thinking about an older version of yourself and how you wish you would have done things differently.
Yeah, which is, it doesn't resonate with who you are right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So I want to challenge you in that, in the future, and as you move forward and as you continue your journey and as you continue growing, that it's okay to reflect, but to let go. To let go of the decisions that you made, to let go of the people you may have hurt, even yourself in those seasons, and to really give yourself that grace, because you deserve it.
No, for
you know
sure.
What I mean? It's like the growth that the place where you are right now is, as like I just mentioned, is very humbling and it's very powerful, and you deserve to experience the fullness of it. And you will never experience the fullness of it if you don't don't let go of the things that you've affected you in your past. So yeah, I mean, I hope that that'll help you as you continue to grow, because I don't think that any of us should have any regrets at all, and that doesn't mean that we haven't done anything wrong in our lives.
No, for sure.
And that doesn't mean that we don't feel bad for the things that we've done or the people that we may have hurt. But what it means is that you forgive yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And and like you mentioned before, once you can do things for yourself first, you can do it better for others. So yeah, as you continue to go through that, and grow through that, I hope that you find the space to forgive yourself, bro.
No, I appreciate that, bro.
To.
That's definitely the challenge.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I said, it's like I look in the mirror first, and that self-awareness is there. which naturally you go to reflect on like how you got to where you feel right now.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, dang, like, you know, that's where that double dutch, you know, jump in, jump out comes from. And I'm like, okay, let me like, I'm kind of like not waiting for that moment, but I'm trying to figure out how to like work through that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just more so, like you said, just finding ways to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And sometimes that might be just being better for what's in front of you right now.
Exactly.
You know, and I think.
And the season's gonna come. There's a season for it. You know, there's a season and time for it. You know, I don't want to rush you into that. I don't want to rush you feeling like that's something that you need to do right away. But I just wanted to drop that in there and encourage you that it's okay to get to that place. You know, and it's important and powerful to get to that place. Um, and I think another question that I wanted to ask you as we're still, you know, talking about how you're growing and everything is from before your breakdown and to where you are now into this space of really checking in on yourself first. How has that altered your relationship with God? Like, has that shifted how you think about God or how you think about obviously yourself and the relationships that you hold with Him and with people and all that?
Yeah, I mean, at first, you know, full transparency, I was questioning Him.
Yeah.
You know, I was confused, conflicted, and why me? You know, all the things that I just generally never really did. You know, because I was riding a wave. You know, I was riding a wave of like thinking I was okay, even though I truly wasn't.
Yeah.
So then when things hit the fan, I was like, wait. And I think what's happened is now it's shown me like every single person has a different relationship with Him.
For sure.
It is not by the book.
No.
It is not traditional. It's very personal and or spiritual. And it's made Him more real for me. Cause I'm like, oh, you really like make us go through these things. Like this is for a reason. Like everything is for a reason. I've always, again, walked by faith, not by sight. You know, I've always had my spiritual practices, understanding of the world, trust, even through a realistic lens.
Yeah.
I've always kind of like went back to that, but I think in reality, I didn't do the best practices of that center that I was talking about. Part of my center is what I'm talking about is like between me and Him.
Right.
You know, when you just isolated by yourself, those moments of silence, those like moments to just feel and think. Right. I'm having that conversation with Him, you know, and I think that since I didn't utilize that during those times prior, it was just more of like a subconscious. I'll say this, and this could be a gift and a curse. I was just coping with the understanding, but I wasn't studying it. I wasn't practicing it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know God, and I know, you know, the Spirit. I got a relationship with Him. He understands. And I'm just
you're like telling yourself things to make you feel better, in those little pockets of moments without actually getting
without going in and talking to Him and giving Him my time of day, or allowing Him to work. And that's literally what I was doing, bro. I'm not gonna say I can't, you know, and that's another, you know, regrettable moment, but it's for a reason, you know. And I think that when I look back now, I'm like, under any circumstance, through the day, through conversation, through thought, I'm trying to find those moments of center with Him through anything I'm dealing with every day, you know. And I feel like, you know, I used to, you know, I prayed and that kind of thing, but I didn't have a certain, like, I did it again more routine than I did it like for
actually be in conversation.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's why it hit me so hard too.
Yeah.
Because He was like, and that's when I go back to the point I made too, is like everyone had a different relationship with Him, because it was like He didn't give up, you know, and He never does, you know. But I think since He didn't give up, He was like, you know what? This is how I'm gonna make you see me. I'm gonna drop this on you, and I'm gonna remind you how you got here, or who you are, and why you are. And once He did all that, I had no choice but to go to Him. Like, He forced me back to Him, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
That's good.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done questioning it, bro. I'm not about to even deal with it no more, bro. I get it. big homie, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to give it up to the OG, because I'm like, he really, you know, and I, you know, not to be funny, but like, in reality, like, that's really what it was for me, bro. Like, I had to, at that time, I was just I just thought I can do it on my own, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I could just be like, oh, thank you, keep it pushing.
Thank you.
But did I like go and like shake your hand, give you a hug, and say thank you, look you in the eye?
Right.
I wasn't doing that with him. Now I'm like, okay, you still here for a reason.
Yeah.
And you still working through me through all the, trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let me make sure that, and again, when you're practicing your center and you're prioritizing yourself more, that's actually who I am.
For sure.
So it's not foreign.
Yes, exactly.
That's the thing about it.
It's not hard to do.
No, it ain't hard to do. It just took a hard moment to get me there.
Right.
But getting back into that routine with him it don't feel unfamiliar. I feel a little guilty, but in moments, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I picked that book up like it was no tomorrow. I started seeing the signs and the conversations and the opportunities and the things I've been talking about lately over the last 3-4 months have been strictly centered around that.
Wow.
Because I shifted my mind, I shifted my awareness, I shifted how I was moving.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, all you gotta do is just hit that switch, bro.
Yeah.
And then you just start to just align yourself with it, especially when you already got tools of it.
For sure.
I grew up in a church.
Yeah.
My grandmother, my mom, my dad, this is my other grandmother. Like, this is not you know what I'm saying? And that was my introduction to my spiritual connection.
Right.
I might not go to church every Sunday. I might not, pray over every single meal, every single time. But like, I have a connection with him. And I think that through this, it's helped me understand like your love is beyond like any type of like fulfillment I can get anywhere else.
Wow.
And I had to just let go and let God is a real thing, because it's like, it's all you. Like I say, Godspeed, proceed for a reason, because it's really on His time.
Facts.
And it's up for you to just be able to accept that and then move accordingly. The proceed is just moving forward in progression, saying like, okay, I'm gonna trust this connection.
Yep.
That you or anyone else might not understand it because of my POV or because of my perception, but I got here for a reason. And I ain't just get here because I have the best ideas.
Right, exactly.
Because I don't feel like I got the best ideas.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I feel like I'm like, oh, y'all like that? Dope. But I feel like it speaks to somebody and somewhere for some reason. Yeah. And that reason got to be bigger than this table that I could look at right now. Right. It's something that is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Beyond. And
Nah, one thing that resonated with me super, like in a really good way, is how you said that I go up, give him a handshake, a hug, and look him in his eyes and say thank you. That's so good, bro. Yeah, what you doing, bro? I love that, because that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's like the passing thank yous, like appreciate it. It's like it's like going from like appreciate it to like, yo, brother, like thank you.
Like go one-on-one.
Yeah, man.
It's like that's the go back to it's the accountability and the responsibility for me too. It's like, okay, like how did I like show my gratitude?
Right.
Yeah. I was showing my gratitude by just like working harder.
Right.
That was the worst thing I could have did, bro. Yeah. No, bro. Yeah. Life honestly is not supposed to be hard. He makes it really easy for us.
Yeah, he do.
Society makes it difficult. Perception makes it difficult. Yep. The industry, the surroundings make it, the distractions make it difficult. Yeah. It ain't really that difficult. Yeah. It's kind of simple mathematics of how this is, supposed to work.
Now, I love that you said perception, because that's a big part of it. Because I think that, obviously he wants our life to be easy and simple. But throughout that, he does allow challenges to face us. And without having the proper perception, even if you tick all the other boxes, if your perception not right, it's still gonna feel hard. It's still gonna hit you, and you're gonna be like, man, I'm still like,
you're still unfulfilled.
Exactly.
And that's where I was at for 5 years straight. I'm like, this is cool, but something's not hitting right here. So all right, let me just go harder again. Let me do this again. Let me think here. If I gave any of just like a fraction amount of that time to him, ain't no telling where I could be at right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Of course I would give more, but it's like, again, that goes back to I've shifted those priorities. Yeah. Standards and those practices of like where my presence, being present, like what does that look like for me? Where's that center? And it's like,
I'll say this, bro. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Yeah. Everything that you dealt with, everything that you experienced, he already knew was gonna happen. Yeah. He knew it was gonna happen. He knew when, he knew what time, all of that. Yeah. So everything that you think back on, and you're like, man, if only I would have did this earlier. It's a natural feeling for us to have, of course, because you now see things a little clearer. So you're like, man, if only I would have went to the optometrist earlier and got my eyes checked. You know what I'm saying? So of course of course that's natural to think that. However, I do want you to know that everything that you're going through right now, he already knew was going to happen right now in this time, in this place. And it was important for it to happen right now. And if it would have happened any sooner, things could have been different. But you don't even know what that would have looked like.
It's not for me to question.
Exactly. So I think that where you are now and where he plans to take you because of it is only going to obviously make you better, but it's only going to help you to gain an even deeper understanding. Because there's like I mentioned earlier, there's a season for it all. So it's like if you would have reached this place earlier and you weren't ready for it, who knows what would have happened? You know what I'm saying? You could have fell back. You could have, you could have dropped the ball on something that he was trying to do with you, whatever the case may be. But because you are where you are right now and you're experiencing it in his timing, you can know confidently moving forward that everything is going to work out into everything that you do. As you already said, you said these first couple months have already been hitting. It's just like it's all happening and it's all feeling like his presence is involved in it. And that's where he wants you to be. And that's where he wants all of us to be always. But as you mentioned, he's gracious enough, bro, to like allow us to move through these seasons and get through these places.
He understands.
Yeah, absolutely.
He understands what our challenges are.
Exactly.
To give us grace, like you said, to get a little lost.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Keeps dropping those, Easter eggs on us for sure.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Or actually pun intended. Pun intended. But yeah, man, literally that. And that's like that reminder of my connection with him is because it don't even gotta be me. Like it don't have to be me like having a conversation or any of that. It'd be like things I hear, things I see. I'm like everything just
pointing back.
I'm like, I can't even watch a movie. I can't be on Instagram. I can't see a quote without it just hitting right where I'm at. I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is not. It's not for play.
Yeah.
Like this is real
life.
And I always knew it. But when it's all hitting you at once and you're looking for a sign, kind of immediately, you realize how front facing it always was.
It's like a cliche saying, like in regards to like Christianity or like spirituality and stuff, where it's like, floodgates opening up. That's really how it happens, bro. It's like once you, like you said, once you flip that switch, and then you start to easing into your walk, like everything just kind of pours out onto you at one time. And it's like you go from questioning everything to having the answers to everything that you've been asking for.
Bro, and that's when I did speak to my mom and we started having that conversation. It was one of them things where like I had to just accept what he put me in a position to do. I was like, oh, like
you got an assignment.
I got an assignment. You chose me to be this person. Like it might feel hard in moments and I'll feel like I want to give up, but I genuinely cannot. This is literally my purpose.
Yeah.
This is my calling. And I gotta speak up in these ways. I gotta present myself. I'm in. Not only am I in too deep, but it's like this is what it is. And if I do anything, in opposition to that, I'm not doing my blessings a disservice. I am doing my blessings a disservice. Right. I'm sorry. So once that was the other thing. It was like my mom was like essentially like can't give up now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it is.
Yeah, it's fact.
Like this ain't just, you didn't just wake up one day and just fall here.
Yeah.
Like there was a journey to how you got here from even the things that you probably don't even recognize that got you here. So, and that's why I used to kind of have this like imposter syndrome spiritually because of the praise and the grace that I would get from other people, and I'd be feeling like almost fraudulent because I'm like, I ain't feeling it the same way. Yeah. I'm just preaching it, but I ain't practicing it.
Right.
And that was just a part of the journey, though. Like we talked about a second ago as well. Like that was a part of the process to me being clear on my relationship with him,
right, and
what he utilizes me to do, and why I'm in these rooms, and why I'm sitting on this couch with you right now, and like why I'm having these, revelations. You know what I'm saying? To be like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Even the text message I got before it started, it's just so much alignment, bro.
Wow.
Like, it's like scary, but it's scary in like the most like free falling way.
For sure.
Because you could just, because it's safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why
That's
it's,
a good way to put it.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's
I
like
think
it's scary, but it's like a safe scary.
it's
Yeah.
the safest fall I could have ever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I know I'm gonna land on the softest of pillows and clouds no matter what.
That's facts.
You know, so
That's facts.
yeah.
So I love that you spoke on like calling and purpose. And obviously you've been doing this for a while, as you've mentioned. But your realization of you being called to do what you do, is that something that happened more recently, or that's something that you've known for a while but kind of lost touch on? Or?
I think it's more something that I may have. I'll say this. I wouldn't say I've known for a while and lost touch of. I think it was one of those situations where I was just kind of like, I was just doing it, trying to find purpose in it.
Gotcha.
So like, even for example, this is something small, but like bricks and wood, like the name, the elements, like if you look at it from just like the element of a brick, a stone, a rock, the element of wood, these are natural things that God has blessed this earth and for us to look at as resources and utilize.
For sure.
When I came up with the name bricks and wood, I was just typing names in my phone, in my notes. It didn't have a definition. It just sounded and felt good for a second. Life made it make sense. Moments made it make sense. Conversations made it make sense. Experiences made it make sense. So it was like, okay, this is working.
Yes.
But I don't truly know why yet. I know I feel good when I do it, which is clearly a sign.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel, like I have a purpose. But at the end of the day, I didn't like connect it completely to my connection. And so I think as of lately, I've been way more direct with like, okay, this is actually my calling.
Yeah.
I've had the reminders. And also, in an interesting way, it's like everything reverts back to like the platform.
Right.
Like I'm like, okay, my communication is through this.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it might not be, I can't touch every hand, directly, but the power of the internet, the power of good ideas, or the power of product has helped me touch people that don't know me from a can of paint, but be in my DMs telling me like, bro, you inspired me.
Wow.
And again, that imposter syndrome was more so like, why me? Not why me, but like didn't really, I'm like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, I'm confused out here.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But like,
you almost didn't feel like you didn't feel like you could carry what people were putting on you.
That's exactly it, bro. Yeah. That's such a good way to put it, because that's exactly what it was. And now I'm doing a way better job at being like, oh, I'm not, it's not a facade.
Yeah.
Like I put the work in spiritually first.
Yeah.
A long time ago, when I look back at my resume, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I've been prepping myself for this. So
absolutely,
I'm here for the long haul. You know, like I'm here to like show up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I've been feeling like because imposter syndrome is definitely real.
I never, what's crazy? I didn't feel it ever. I used to hear people talk about it. I'm like, no, I don't feel it. But then I started thinking about it in a different perspective. I'm like, oh, that's where it came from. It's a spiritual connection.
Because you didn't have it, and you didn't have a name for it. You were just like, that don't sound like what I'm going through.
But yeah, exactly. That's literally what it was, bro.
Yeah.
Literally that, yeah.
I think, you basically just said it. I think imposter syndrome is just us not trusting what God has given us.
That's it.
To do.
If someone would have said that a long time ago,
yeah,
I would have been okay to that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I never heard it from that POV.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Is that we just don't trust in ourselves what God has given us the ability and talents to do.
100%.
We feel like you said, why me? I'm not the person that's supposed to be doing this. How am I the person that's supposed to, like, out of all the people, why, like, how am I the person that was chosen to do this?
I'm looking at it like, I got my own skeletons in my closet. I got my own demons I'm fighting with. Like, you don't want to be me, or you don't want to be inspired by me, but that was, again, questioning. I
mean, this is a big reason why I wanted to have this conversation, why I want to continue having these conversations, is because I want to bring light to that, so that we all know that, like, I can be inspired by you despite all the things that you go through.
Exactly.
Actually, I could be even more inspired
because you're going through that, and I'm still feeling this way.
Exactly.
And again,
I think
perception, bro, that's once you shift. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Once you shift that mindset,
yeah,
and you find a progressiveness to it,
yeah,
you're like, oh, I was just thinking about it negatively. I was taking it harder than I should have. Like it was the way out was always right there.
Yep.
To connect to that.
Exactly.
And what you just said has just been literally just al dente.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I love that. Yeah, I think yeah, man, it's a hard time right now because, you know, social media just gives us so much more power, and much faster. I mean, the internet in general, and you know, we'd be remiss to not hit that at some point and be like, wait, why is there X amount of people following me? Like looking at me for what I'm doing. Like I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I have those same thoughts sometimes. I'd be like, you know, even when people come into the crib, man, home is beautiful. And I'm just like, bro, I appreciate it, but like, I don't. Exactly, and that's figurative and literal. You know what I'm saying? It's like because people give you compliments and stuff like that, and you immediately start looking at yourself like, hold up, bro. But like, I appreciate that, but I'm still building. But at the same time, two things can be true. You know what I'm saying? You could still be a beautiful person even though you still got some cracks to figure out. Exactly. And I think the more that we realize that, the more that we will allow ourselves to grow. Because imposter syndrome, all that does is self sabotage to your own growth, bro. Because you're so focused on the whys and the how, and not actually focusing on the fact that you are what it is that people are seeing in you. You know what I'm saying? And it happens for a reason.
I had a question for you too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in the same way you've been, you know, giving me my flowers, I've definitely been admiring everything you do, how you do it since the day I met you.
I appreciate
what
that.
you met at the pop up.
Yeah.
You know, appreciate. You know, I always say thank you for that, but
Yeah,
you know, I love how those moments just happen. You know, and then it turns into these type of moments, and now it's like, now you're my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Nice
So
facts.
I think, but I was always curious because I'm like, you move with, you know, that level of spiritual connection front facing, you know, and I'm sure, of course, like we discussed, there's always challenges and different hurdles and things that we go through, especially in the industry that we decide to go into, right? Absolutely. Or that we were called to go into, I would say, to shift the conversations internally.
Yep.
I guess I was always kind of admirable, but always curious about like, where was your, you know, turning point? Like, how did you, like, what was like, how are you able to fulfill, I'm not gonna say the need, but like how fulfill like the necessities to be here and to be here effectively, but then also be confident and strong about your position and your connection with God too, because traditionally they don't connect.
That's fact.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know, again, I'm sure it's still a work in progress, but you know, what's your practice so far? Because I've literally been meaning, I've literally been meaning to ask you this for a long time.
No, I appreciate that, bro. That definitely means a lot. Yeah, it's been a journey, man. It really has been, and you know, people like yourself or people that I don't know, you know, that's kind of sometimes where I find my imposter syndrome, or like my thoughts of like me checking myself, because you know I get those comments and those flowers. I don't want to say often because I don't want it to seem a certain way, but like, you know, I do receive those, and I'm grateful to. Yet, you know, I look at myself and I'm just like, damn, but like, you know, I didn't pray this morning. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I ain't talked to God all week, and it's like I appreciate that, and then at the same time I just be like, you know, so all that to say, I still am battling and dealing with a lot myself. But to answer your question, I think it was a similar thing for me. It just kind of happened earlier. So, you know, I went through almost that same experience. And I have gone through it since. But my first one, I was in college, bro. And I was going to like a Christian school at the time. And yeah, I was like you know, like no lie, I was in a room full of some homies, some friends, both male and female. And we were, you know, in this room just talking it up, chilling, having a good time. And one thing led to another, and we like all in a circle praying. And I'm just like, and I'm in my headspace like, I knew the type of school I was at and all that stuff, and I was definitely like comfortable in my relationship with God. But in that space and in that moment, I just felt, and I'm gonna tell the story like true for true because I remember it so vividly. I was in that space, and everybody's praying and whatnot, and some of the prayers started being directed towards me. I'm just like, it was at the point, bro, it's like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
And I literally took off. Like, I walked out, in the crib that we was in was like super close to the soccer field. I was playing soccer at the time. And like, I walked out, and I like ran to the soccer field, and I sat in this corner, bro, and I just bawled, bro. Like, it just all came out of me, bro. And like, I was just like, yo, what is this? Like, and same thing. I grew up in a home where, I was going to church, all the things, I battled a lot growing up, man, like high school, middle school. Like, I dealt with a lot of stuff that I've told people, stuff that people don't know. I went through a lot, bro, growing up. And I think same thing, bro. I just realized that, like, you know, I didn't want to hold on to it no more. And I was same thing, bro, playing it cool. Like, I was everybody looked at me a certain way when I got to college. It was like, man, this dude's cool. You know what I'm saying? I was skateboarding around campus, all the things. I was homies with everybody, but I was still feeling so empty, bro. And yeah, it literally, man, it's just like I was on the soccer field, and I was crying like almost harder than I ever have, bro. And I was just like, what is this? What's going on with me right now? I didn't even understand it. And one of my boys came down and found me. He's like, bro, you good? And I'm just like, yo, I can't do this no more. Like, I've been holding on to so much, and I didn't even know it. And I feel God's presence so strong on me right now. And it's the same thing you said. It was like a hand on my shoulder. Like, it was just like this overwhelming, like, it was like almost a wave just like through my whole body, bro. And I'm just like, yo. And ever since then, I just kind of made this decision that I was like, nah, I gotta live for God, bro. Like, everything that I do, I gotta try and like put him first and represent him in everything that I'm doing. And I ain't gonna lie, like, soon after I fell off. I fell off hard, bro. Like, I switched schools. I just started getting into, life, bro, and not having that same community and stuff around me, which I realize and recognize more now, more than ever, that like community is so important, and it's hard to find. You know what I'm saying? And I was, I fell off hard, bro. And then once I left school and stuff, it kind of hit me again, just not as hard. And I was just like, yo, I'm not living right, man. Like, I'm not living right. I'm chasing all these things, trying to figure out who Justin is, and I already know who I am. I just, I'm just not comfortable with saying it, and I'm not comfortable with living it. And it got to a point where it's like, yo, I gotta be me. And it's exactly what you said. It's like, you realize I've always been that. I just was pushing it to the side because of, the stigma and like having to put on. And once I did that, it was just like almost no turning back. And like, I ain't gonna say my life's been perfect. Like, by all means, like, I still go through a lot. I still battle, every week, every day sometimes. But, bruh, real, bro. He real, bro. And, I recognize that what's been most beneficial for me to keep going and to continue to be myself and to allow God to let his presence illuminate my life is just the understanding that, like, ain't none of this for me, and it don't belong to me. Like, not just the good stuff, but the bad stuff too.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, bro.
Exactly.
That's the part I struggle with the most.
We
man.
hold on to that more how longer than we hold on to the stuff that we blessed with.
Yeah, bro. Like, literally, bro. Like, it gets to a point sometimes, bro. Like, stuff that's good happens to me, I'm not even comfortable receiving it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so focused on like the bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm so good to like be grateful and let go of the things that happen to me that are good, but I develop sometimes this perception, and it goes back to what we've been talking about. That's like, yo, I don't like. Sometimes it's like I'm not deserving of it, and then sometimes it's just like something bad happens to me, and I hold on to it so tight, and I don't even know why. Like, I know I'm supposed to let go of it. I know I'm not supposed to be holding on to this, and something bad happens, or I drop the ball somewhere, or I'm not being the husband that I want to be or the father that I want to be. You know, I'm talking crazy or whatever, and I just hold on to it, and it just like darkens my whole spirit, bro. But I can't let go of it. And like right now, I'm just like, that's my battle. It's like, how do I let go of knowing that I'm not supposed to carry any of it? How do I let go of the bad? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that the good that happens to me, my resources, all those things, they don't belong to me. I can say that all day long. I preach it all day long. But the minute something bad happens to me that feels like it is my responsibility, I hold on to it, bro. And I'm just like it just beats me down, man. And that ain't nothing like you said, but Goliath, that's the enemy, bro. Like trying to keep us bound and keep us down. But yeah, for me, man, it's just like I just try and recognize all that God does for me. Um, and I just try and stay true. And honestly, the comments and the things that people say to me, like, again, thank you, because that's what keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear that and I see it, especially from people. It I think it does more for me when I get it from people that I know. Because I'm like, dang, niggas just paying attention, and it's cool. But even when it's people that I don't know, I'm just like yo, like this really isn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is sparking a fire or lighting a light in somebody else's room, and it's just because I'm allowing God to be here and to do what it is that He's called me to do. And you know, I still struggle, bro, trying to figure out what my calling is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I want to. I've done so many different things in my life. I've been a photographer. You know, I got a brand now, and like all these different things, and it's just it all be so hard. I just be like, bro, like, what am I supposed to be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I supposed to?
Your calling is to be Justin.
Yeah, facts. That's really all it is.
That's all it is, bro.
That's real, man. I appreciate that, bro.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
really all it is.
I
It's not attached to any one
Nah,
thing.
that's because that's the part of my question. I'm over interviewing you now. You know what I'm saying? Part of my question
That's
was
love.
was like what we decide. You know, again, what we were called to do. The optics and the perception and like the overarching standard of it is a big role into success in this industry.
Yeah.
So when we get into those rooms and we get into these, you know, those zones, and to that point, we're questioning who we are within because of like trying to like find like our niche pocket of the industry or of how we work. But at the end of the day, it's like you being here was more than enough.
Wow.
You know, and I think, and I'm saying it because I'm coming to that realization too, is like the win is waking up every day. The win is conversation. The win is inspiring somebody.
That's facts.
That's the win.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't appreciate the wins. Just, we look at them as they're small because we have goals, but we'll be very surprised when, you know, we get to those gates and we see God face to face and He say, "You here because of these things," and none of the other things that we thought was like our purpose or our callings. You know what I'm saying? Like it really be like the humanity of us and the humility of us and the spiritual share that we had. It ain't got nothing to do with like bricks and wood or David and Goliath or, you know, extra denim. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't got nothing to do with none of that. Like those are great.
Yeah.
Because they're just assets to how people get to us.
Right.
To however we allow them or however we share it. At the end of the day, the calling is just to be.
That's such a good reminder, bro. And I appreciate that because that's on time. Because like, I think I deal with that so much. Like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Like, whether it's, and a lot of it's doing work. It's like, how am I supposed to like? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be doing this? Like, you know what I'm saying? This gets me more bread. This ain't giving me enough bread. Like, all the things that's human to think about.
You know what I've realized too? Like, the things that fulfill me the most got nothing to do with like anything transactional.
Facts.
Like this is what I needed for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
If there's a way to make money and survive off of conversation, I promise you I would. And just, you know what I'm saying? I promise you I would. And there is a world of that, you know, but I like this fulfills me more than anything I've ever done.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like I promise I'm not trying to, you know, just say that because I'm sitting here with you right now, bro. Like,
no, that's love.
Because at the end of the day, when I'm going through it and I had those breakthroughs, I come back to these type of real moments where I'm like, okay, this is all that matters for real.
Yeah.
And I just wish, again, in moments I just had that understanding, but now if I move with that every day now, I can appreciate it no matter how it looks, no matter how it scales itself.
That's it.
Oh, this was more here, I got more money there, and I got bigger, projects here. That don't even matter, bro.
Don't matter.
It don't even matter.
Nah, I bro, that really did more for me than you know, man. Cause like I really needed to hear that. Cause it is just showing up, you know what I'm saying, and letting him do the rest. It's like you said, waking up every day is a blessing in itself, but just showing up as yourself and being who he called you to be, and whatever that is. Because he's put stuff in he's deposited stuff in each of our spirits that is unique to us. You know what I'm saying? That nobody else can do, that nobody else, has experienced, but only a certain group of people can relate to. And I wish that people would talk about that more, man, because I feel like when it comes to calling and purpose, it's always attached to like doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think that's where it gets caught up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even like in church, like whoever, bro, it's like it's always built into like doing something. And I don't think we're called to do anything. We're just called to be, and to allow him to live through us so that we can, so that more and more people can experience him. That's the purpose. That's the calling of it. And it's just, that's the purpose. And your calling is just directed to however you can reach as many people in your pocket as possible. And that's real. That's real, bro.
Listen, I wish, like, I don't know. Like sometimes that's the scary part of it. Is like, that's just something that, like, I think, like I said, I've been meaning to ask you for so long and find the right moment, and it just set itself up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And from you to ask me to be on this, literally last week, to what we're talking about, where I'm at in life, and you recognizing the words and the shares I've been, the things I've been saying, are you just, even just little things like, just you be like, yo, you at the shop, came to the shop, kicked it, like, I really appreciate it. I don't know if I even text you and said that, but I appreciate you coming by and just kicking it with us that day. For sure. Like, because that again, slow day. Barely anybody came to the shop that day.
That's what the space is for.
That's what it's for.
Yeah,
that's why it's called Spaces.
Yeah,
if it was bricks and wood, that means you come in here and buy something, you get out.
Again.
You know what I'm saying? It's called Spaces because it's like, it's just a space.
Yeah.
And however if it makes sense to you, it makes sense to us.
For sure.
And that's what it's for, bro. And again, these are these like things that like come to mind and they come to fruition, and then I go back and I'm like, oh, you literally set that up for me. Like God set that up for me like that, and I didn't see that. It made sense as I started to develop it. And I think,
if I could have told you that back when we met a year and a half ago, whatever, that we'd be sitting here right now having this conversation, I would have.
Yeah, to me, I thought it was gonna be transactional.
Not facts.
Like, yo, man, thank you, appreciate it. Y'all got y'all shoes. Y'all the store good. All right, we out.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and when it was for us to know.
Yeah,
it's for like we just here.
Yep.
And I don't let time dictate my relationships and my connection with people.
Not at all.
And I always like been internally taking it in, but I feel like now it's just like we shared the safe space to speak about it out loud. You know what I'm saying? And like share it in real time as well.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you again, allowing me on this couch, man, in your space, bro. For real.
I appreciate you for your time, man, your energy and your humility. It means a lot, bro. Like, truly does. And you being willing and open to share and be vulnerable. Yeah. It means a lot, bro.
You gotta do it, bro. Anything else would be a facade.
Yeah.
I'm showing up for the perception. I'm not doing that no more, bro.
That's facts.
I'm not working for that. I'm working for me.
Yeah. That's facts, man. I love you, bro.
Love you too, dog.
Yeah. As well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah.